Well, hello, everybody. We are here creating a little playlist for everyone just to introduce the instructors for the Flow and Flourish retreat that's happening this September. Um, for this video, Vanessa's actually going to be interviewing me about the workshop that I'm going to be offering. And if you want to see the video that I did with Vanessa and the whole heart behind the retreat, there'll be links below. And obviously, you can look through the playlist to see the video that I did with her as well. So, yeah, let's get started.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to have the privilege to interview you. I think this is fabulous. Yes, my
Excited.
name is Vanessa. A little blurb. I am the founder of the retreat, Flow and Flourish Women's Wellness Retreat, which is happening in September. And I'm the founder of Joyful Movement Studio. But now we're going to pass it over to Kristen. So, Kristen, tell me just a little bit about you and your background as pertains to our retreat.
Okay.
Mm.
So professionally, my background's in kinesiology. So kinesiology essentially is the study of human movement. So my career mostly has been focused on working with people with chronic health conditions and teaching them how physical activity can be used to create better health and help manage their health condition. Having said that, my curiosity has led me in lots of different directions. And I do remember this so clearly when I was in eighth grade. I used to take my health textbook home for fun and I used to read it for fun. And I remember still to this day seeing these pictures of lungs. And one lung was a healthy lung, and the other lung was the lung of somebody who smoked. No judgment against smokers. It's a horrible addiction. But I remember having the thought at that time, at like 12 years old, that we don't have to suffer. Like there's something about some choices that we can make, that we can choose to take kind of a path of health. And then there's also another path that we can take. And obviously, now with everything that I've learned over the years, that path that we take sometimes that leads us down a road of not being as healthy, that's what I actually got really curious about, of like, why do we make the decisions that we make? And, why do we make decisions maybe that aren't the best for our health? And more importantly, what can we do to support ourselves through that? So that really has been kind of where my career has taken me, is on this journey of curiosity of our psychology and how we tick, and more so kind of spiritual psychology of what as well, of like, how is our soul here to be expressed, and like what is the true self? So I have this like really curious mind that's always asking lots of big questions. And so that's taken me down the road of expanding more into like health coaching. I did a 2-year program in somatic psychology, and I think that's really where my focus is now, is in like self-discovery. Often we talk about self-development as if there's something we need to develop in ourselves, and I think in the self-development or self-growth world, there's become this idea that somehow we're not good enough as we are right now. And so my focus has come to be more on self discovery. Like, what are we here to learn about ourselves that maybe has been hidden, or something that we want to uncover to help us just know ourselves more and know ourselves better and more completely? And that's kind of what I'm bringing to our workshop that we're going to do together.
I love that. And I love your origin story. I'm sorry, you just never know what is going to start us on our paths. And I love that for you. It was like, look at these two lungs. What made the person decide this versus this? And let's start that path. So I'm going to call that your origin story. And I
It
love it.
is, it really
Yes.
is.
um, and I am so excited for what you are bringing with all of your experience and education. And maybe my favorite part is your curious mind, asking the big questions. Um, so, is there anything in specific that you are really passionate about when it comes to this line of work?
Mm. I think what I'm most passionate about right now is like illuminating the sovereign soul. So we live in this society where we're bombarded with shoulds. Like, you should be more this, or you should be more that.
Mhm.
You should be more outgoing, or you should be more reserved. Like there's always these opposites that we're playing with in this world. And we often think that we have to be a certain way because society's that way, or somebody else is that way, or this is the most desirable trait and this is the non desirable trait. But the truth is, when you actually connect with your soul and like your really unique spark of light that you've been given, there's so much diversity of personality and expression in this world that my passion really has led me most to like uncovering who you truly are inside and like having a celebration of that. Like the things that we normally would be told we shouldn't be can actually be a celebration when we learn to embrace it and accept it.
Yeah. I try to remove the word should from most people's vocabulary. Who says
Mm-hmm.
you should be that? Right?
Exactly.
No. What would you be? What could you be? What do those are words. So I love that you bring that in because I really
Yeah.
play with that at all my jobs actually when I interact with people and they're like, so I even try to remove it from my vocabulary. So
Yeah.
I should be
Oh,
doing this.
and it's
Well,
so easy for it to come up too.
it
When even
is.
as we say that should feels constricting. And when you say, what could I be? That feels more opening.
Yeah.
And I
Like,
think that's a good way for us to judge whether or discern whether something's for us or not.
yeah, because should feels like you have these outside expectations putting you into a bucket, into a box, and
Mm-hmm.
but what could I be? What would I
Yeah.
like to be? Yeah, all
Mm-hmm.
different words. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so you've kind of given me a little bit of a teaser, maybe about what to expect. Is there anything you might want to add on to that? So you've
For the
talked a little bit
workshop.
for the workshop. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So the workshop's called Living as Love.
Mhm.
And when you came to me just over a year ago now and asked me to do this workshop, this was like something that had been sitting in my brain, how my soul works. It kind of gives me like these visions. And then I don't know how they're going to come to life or when they're going to come to life. I just know that they do eventually. Back at that time, I was leading a workshop called Find Your Spark. So, living as love is something that's kind of bloomed and blossomed from Find Your Spark. And the Find Your Spark workshop was designed during a time that I was going through my life. And I know that we've kind of talked about this a bit for the retreat, that it's kind of for women going through any phase kind of midlife, really. Like, even if you're in your 20s, but 30s, 40s, 50s, like wherever you are in life, as women, sometimes we come to this place where it's like, man, I've built this life for myself and I'm not happy in it right now. Like, what
Yeah.
the heck happened? And so sometimes we get to this point where we feel like we've lost our spark or we've lost that connection. And it's not that anything that we built is wrong. It's just that sometimes we're being asked to like shed something old in order to be born into something new. And so as I went through that journey in my own life of like kind of letting go of a lot of things that weren't really aligned anymore and coming to a place of like a better alignment for how my soul wanted to live in this world. What I started to really learn was that the only thing that was really helping me through that healing process was love. And love is really the only energy I believe that heals. Judgment doesn't heal, shaming doesn't heal, criticism doesn't heal. Turning towards ourselves with love is really what helps us heal. And when we turn towards ourselves with love, we can start to like live as love as well. And
Yeah.
so I'm excited for this workshop. It's going to help us connect, like help each person there kind of connect with that love, that spark that lives
Mhm.
within them. And I think based on your theme for the weekend, we're going to just have some fun with it and play with it and
Yeah.
see what comes up for everybody. It's going to be a journey inward.
Yeah. But that doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah.
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 So Kristen mentioned that I came to her this just over a year ago, or came to her and asked her. For the record, I think we had known each other a month.
Yeah. Not even, I did just joined your studio.
And I was like, there's something about you, and I have this idea, and I want to make this weekend, and would you join me? And you were like, I need to think about it, but you didn't spend that long thinking about it. So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what made you say yes?
Yeah. Oh, I love that question. This is what like this whole connecting with our soul is really about because we get yeses and nos in life, I think, right? Everybody kind of has a different way of navigating that. Some people get like a gut response. For me, it's more feeling. That's why I asked for some time. I'm like, I need to feel this out to make sure that I'm on the right track with it. So yeah, so for me it was like just feeling into it and I kept getting a yes and I kept getting this living as love workshop is something that needs to be shared. And so I think what made me say yes to you too, Vanessa, is just that you have so much passion and so much joy and so much enthusiasm around what it is that you're offering, what you're wanting to put into the world. And I'm like, yes, this feels like a good fit. Yeah.
Also, for the record, when we talked about doing interviews and why everyone said yes, they all just said you can't say no to a Leo. So,
That's right.
but I like this answer a little
And you're very Leo. You have lots of Leo energy in your birth
bit.
chart.
Um, how do you think that this workshop complements the rest of the weekend that we have planned?
That's a good question. So I feel like this workshop, we're kind of doing it at the end of the weekend. So people are going to have some time to kind of like Friday night during the day, Saturday to move some energy and to connect with themselves. And I think it's going to be followed by the yin yoga and sound bath, which I think is going to be beautiful. And yeah, I think how it connects in with this whole theme of like flowing and flourishing is again, like you had mentioned for your movement classes, like how do we connect with like ourselves and like feeling as ourselves? And just to give a little teaser about the workshop, there is going to be some journaling and some mindfulness work in the
Mhm.
workshop. And what I do believe that helps bring us back to ourselves the most is just speaking our truth. And I think in the past, women came in together in circles to speak their truth, to talk
Mhm.
about like what's not working in my life or what are these responsibilities that I have. And sometimes we feel like we have to like put on a good face of like, well, I chose this and I just have to put up with it. But sometimes we have to like, when we say the truth of what is going on, that's really is what frees us. I know it sounds cliche to say, but sometimes it just feels like a weight's lifted off our shoulders when we can speak our truth. And so part of our journaling process is going to be just letting the truth out. You don't have to tell it to anybody, you don't have to say it out loud even, but just letting that truth kind of flow through you helps us to connect with ourselves even more.
And so I'm just going to toss this out there that if you register before August 15th, you will get a swag bag, but that has to be our cutoff just because of shipping. Um,
Right.
and so if you get a swag bag, you're going to get a journal to write in. So little extra
Perfect.
incentive to register before August 15th, plus so many other cool things. But one
Yes.
of them is a journal from a lovely women-owned Canadian company. Most of our swag bags are from women-owned Canadian companies, which
Love
is
that.
important to me. But sorry, not to
Yeah.
take away from that, but in case people are like, "Oh, journal, I have to bring one." Not if
Yeah.
you register before August 15th. um,
Mm-hmm.
so I am going to ask one more question. What are you
Okay.
most excited about for our weekend retreat? What are you most
Mm.
excited about for our Flow and Flourish Women's Wellness event?
Honestly, I feel like you said this in our other video that we did is that I mean, there's a couple of things because being there as a facilitator, I'm excited, but then being there as a participant, I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited too. I would say from the participants like perspective, I'm excited for the space. Like I've been to those retreats where it's like 6 a.m. and it's like really regimented. And then by the end of the day, I'm exhausted and I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel, I feel like I'm just trying to push through because of that fear of missing out. But I think because all of the sessions are spread out nicely, there's lots of room in between the sessions to go for nature walks, to just be outside, to just let yourself settle and let things be quiet. The spaciousness, and even with the classes, like there's going to be spaciousness, I think, within the classes to just be there, to be yourself. Like you said, everybody's welcome here. It's not, it's, yeah, you're allowed to be yourself here at this retreat. So that just feels calming and settling to my nervous system just to be
Mhm.
able to say that out loud. And then as a facilitator, this is actually going to be the very first time that I offer the Living as Love workshop. So I am just excited to see kind of the energy of everybody come together and this idea of like women supporting women to celebrate our uniqueness and our gifts and what we have to bring to the world. I think that's exciting for me. I always love seeing that.
I'm excited to see everyone have that space to be themselves. Because not only are you welcome to, but you're encouraged to, right? You're welcome, you're invited, you're encouraged to just be beautifully you this whole
Mm-hmm.
time. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I love it.
are there any final thoughts that you have or anything you would like to share with anyone who's thinking about coming but hasn't quite taken the leap of registering yet?
I would say just reach out,
Mhm.
ask questions, connect with one of us, connect with Vanessa, connect with me. We're happy to answer questions. It is coming up fast. September
Yeah.
seems like a long ways away because we're just starting summer, but it is coming up fast. So I think it's planned at like a perfect time because people usually are really busy during the summer, especially here in Canada. So September is just it's just going to be lovely. It's going to be like the leaves are changing and I don't know. It's going to be an awesome time, I think, for this. And like a nice time of year to just kind of reset before going into the rest of fall.
Hmm.
So um yeah, and there's so much beauty in fall too. The themes of letting go and releasing and renewing and yeah.
Yeah. The
So
leaves are about to show us how, or the trees are about to show us how beautiful it can be to let things go.
yes, love
I
that.
did mess that up a little bit, but the idea is there. That's one of my
The
favorite
gist of
quotes
it's
for the
there.
fall. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. So yeah, I just think it's going to be a really great time together. And I always say this in the work that I do that when more than one light comes together to share with the intentions of love,
Hmm.
the world shines a bit brighter. So I think by having this weekend together, the world in your world is just going to shine a bit brighter by being there. So,
Oh, all four of us have. I'm gonna pat my own back a little bit here, or toot my horn, or whatever. But all four of us. So we have two more facilitators that Kristen's gonna get a chance to interview over time. But all of us, I think, have like these beautiful lights and gifts to share with the world, and I can't wait for all of you to meet the rest of our team. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The other videos are coming, but yeah, it's
Oh
going
yes.
to be an awesome. We have lots of love to share.
So
So
much, so much
lots of
love to
love, lots of
share.
joy. Yeah.
Yes. Right, well, thank you so much for allowing me to be the one who gets to interview you. It was such a
Hmm.
pleasure. We'll have all the links below. You can reach out to me through email or through any of my social media channel sites, Flow and Flourish or Joyful Movement Studio. Of course, you can reach out to Kristen if you have any questions as well, and we'll put the link to the retreat page website in the comment section as well,
Hmm.
or description
Good.
section.
Yep. Click on the link, check it out, come join us. We're excited to have you there.
So
All
excited to meet you.
right.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye.